Hi, this is Chris Henry from Series Squash, and you're watching episode 43 of Squash Shots. And today I'm going to demonstrate and discuss two of my new favorite solo drills that I've come up with. They're both, I'd say, more advanced and for shots out of the back corner. So this is actually, both these drills are drills that I would normally do in pairs. So this first one here is drive, cross-court drive. And you'll see that I'm using a lot of variety in the types of cross courts, and obviously keeps a bit of a flow going because you're moving around a little more on your toes. But if you watch here my cross courts, I'll hit some with a bit of pace, thinking about good width. I'm trying to visualize my opponent on the tee, getting my good width by them. Some of my cross courts I'm actually lifting, playing a lob. And then some I'm actually going to hit a little bit harder and lower and try to play more like a cross-court kill type of shot, where I'm really trying to apply some pressure and put it in a difficult spot for my opponent. And what I thought about when I was doing these is, trying to disguise my cross-court, not so much for the lob shot, but for the other types of cross-courts, trying not to open up the shoulders too early. And it's quite difficult. So when I'm watching these shots here, can you see the differences in my straight and my cross court and my posture, especially on the backhand side? Forehand maybe a little bit easier to kind of flick the ball and get a decent width. Backhand is a little bit tougher. So I think that's an important part, but I don't know. Personally, I really enjoy doing this drill, and obviously if you hit a good width, then you try to keep the drill going, but if the width is too good, or if you're playing like a kill shot and you can't get it, then you just play it on a second bounce or scoop it up and kind of keep that drill going. But I really like the flow of this drill and the next drill. So if you want to mix up your routine, if you're very good already at just kind of the basic overhit drives and you want to add some variation, I find this is actually probably going to be more helpful to playing in your match, because it gives you some variety about how to get the ball by your opponent. You don't only have to play straight drives out of the back, because really I think there's two ways you can go with this. You can say, every time that I'm in the back corner, I'm just going to hit a straight drive, and there are a lot of people that play like that, and you just try to hit your straight drive as good as possible. But if you don't have any variety, then I think it again puts a lot of pressure on that shot, and your opponent doesn't need to respect the rest of the court, so they can really move their tee position over and again force you to hit the absolute perfect drive. And maybe that's going to work up to a certain point, but I think if you watch almost every single the top pros, they do move the ball around the court. So being able to hit a good width in a few different ways, being able to play some different shots from the back of the court are really, really important skills. And that's here in the second drill is drive, boast. So again, a drill that I would normally do with two, sometimes with three people, thinking about disguising my boast. So you'll notice I'm obviously not going to get my boast on the second bounce. I'm normally going for a 2-wall boast, the occasional 3-wall boast. But generally you can keep the ball going with a pretty good flow, because the ball is going to come back to you even if it is after a few bounces or rolling. And I find this is actually a little bit easier for me to disguise in the cross court, and a really important shot, especially if your opponent is kind of hanging back, not watching while they're on the tee. If you want to put some work into them, it's very tough to go try to get one of these shots to the front. Obviously the ball's going to bounce twice quicker than if you hit a drive. It's going to be low, so your opponent's going to have to move very quickly, get low, and a lot of times what they do, even if they get this ball, is they end up kind of hitting it right back to where you were. So I think it's another drill that I did a lot in my university days with one of my training partners. But nowadays, if I don't have someone to play with, I got some of these drills that I can do on my own, and really lets me think about my posture and my ability to have options to attack, move the ball around from the back corners. I know this isn't absolute best angle. It just was kind of bright when I was filming this part of my session here. But I tried to give a few different angles, so hopefully you still get the gist of the drill. So I hope you enjoyed episode 43 of Squash Shots, and you'll join me next week for 2 new of my favorite back corner attacking drive or attacking shots out of the back corner drills. So this is kind of a 2-part series. So join me next week for episode 44 of Squash Shots. Thank you.